So in today's video, I want to discuss Peng in Tai Chi and the formlessness or the deconstruction of form on a few different levels, and how this relates to personal development, if that's the route you want to take. So firstly, on a very physical level, as we start with in all the beginners classes, and for a good chunk of time, we're always focused on letting go of muscular tension. Always the instruction is relax, 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 relax more, relax harder, keep relaxing. And that's good. That's always good. What we tend to focus on is letting that relaxation of the tensions bound or shaped in the muscles to disperse, and then that tension spreads out and is taken over by the connective tissue through the body. So you start to feel like you're on a sling, like a suspension bridge, right? Like you're elasticated through the whole body. So we're taking the form, the shape of that idea of muscular tension, right? And then you disperse that, you let it go, it dissolves, and that tension then spreads and can be taken by much more. The load can be held by a different system. Then emotionally, we often find constraints in various parts of the body. And these are tensions. These are shapes that the emotions are bound in. That's what gives it the name of the emotion, whether that's anger or joy or happiness or anything else. The emotion gets stuck in a specific shape, right? So there is a container there, and what we do at that level is the same, just it's a little more subtle. You dissolve the container that gives the emotion its name and its meaning. And as soon as you dissolve the container, all that energy that's bound up in the shape of the emotion, right? It's now no longer shaped that way. It is free energy that can go and be used wherever, settle, or do anything you want, right? It's kind of like the water here. If I take a bucket and I pick up the water, it's in a container. Whatever shape that container is, the water is now the shape of that container, right? So if I have a bucket that's shaped like a duck, the water looks like a duck. If I pour the water out of that bucket, I dissolve the bucket. Now the water can disperse, it can spread, it can go wherever it needs to. So this is really, really important. This is very important, and something that will begin to allow the Tai Chi, Qigong, meditation, any internal work to start to move beyond physical changes, right? And start to affect you emotionally as well. And then moving beyond that into mental constructions. So again, the theme here is deconstructing tension or shape. The first one, we deconstructed the shape of the tension in the muscle. Second one, we're deconstructing the shape in the tension of the emotion and deconstructing the shape of the emotion, letting it dissolve. And the third one, the thoughts. So this is again more subtle still, is you start to recognize, if you spend enough time practicing, that your thoughts have a shape. They have a location, they have a form. And just like an emotion is only recognized as an emotion, a specific emotion, if it's in that shape, the same is true to me, at least with thoughts, right? So thoughts only are recognizable and only have meaning if they are held within a shape, and that shape requires tension. Over time, with your practice, you can apply the same relaxation process that we would apply to transferring that tension in muscles and letting it dissolve and spread out we can apply that to our thoughts. So the thought form starts to dissolve, it starts to disappear, it bubbles away is sort of the feeling, right? Like, yeah, I don't know, it froths away, it bubbles away. And at that point, the energy that was contained in the shape of the thought is now free of that shape. It can then go wherever and be used for whatever you might want it to be used for. So this is very important as well. And you'll start to recognize how your thought forms start arising in many different parts of the body. And so what I typically find is this is integrally connected to the peripheral vision. And I don't mean your general peripheral vision, like you're looking here but you're seeing to the sides, or you're wedging this far and then you're wedging really far out. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a very refined peripheral vision where your attention can be like the point of a needle, right? Anywhere in this whole three-dimensional spherical scope of peripheral vision. And there'll be these little nubs, like knots, that will be the location of the form of the thought. And as we apply this relax process, or the song process, the release process, that little knot of mental formation, of tension that creates mental formations, it will dissolve. And the result of that is a vast spaciousness that starts to appear, and it feels really nice. It feels really, really good. It's soft, it's buoyant, it has some qualities that seem to be quite consistent. So with all of these processes, we want to be aware of the key mechanism, which is letting go, right? Song, release, relaxation. And what that seems to mean over time more and more to me is a dissolution of shape, of perceived form. Once the form is dissolved, then the energy is free to spread, to be directed however you wish. So that's all on my mind for today. Just at the beach here, looking at the beautiful coast here in Vancouver. Alrighty, that's it. Out.